Hi everyone and welcome back. This is the 5th video that I'm doing in a series called Find Your Style. All previous videos are on my channel if you'd like to watch them, including an introduction that's going to explain what my purpose is behind this series. These flowers will be very much like dandelions, but obviously with a very different color scheme. I'm using the same colors as I've done in the other videos, and that will just help to link them within the series itself. I'm using pretty cheap paper, so the flowers, the paint isn't quite blooming the way it would on a better quality paper. So I just have to help it around a little bit, as you can see I'm doing here, by spreading the colors. But I'm wanting to keep that color around the edges and the middles as clean as possible, still with some color, but as clear and white as possible in the centers. If you find that you've got a little bit too much color in the middles, what you can do is use your brush, keep on drying it, and you can dab in the centers, and what that will do is it will pick up the water and the pigment, and it will help to get the middles in a lot lighter color. Once the paint is dry, it's time to pick up your pen. I just do very simple stems, and then I'll follow that up with a bit of a medium-sized dot that will go into the middle of the wider sections of each of these flowers. I don't want these dots to be too big or too small. The point of them is they're going to serve as the center point of the flower, even though they're not precisely in the center, and that'll just be part of where you'll see those little stamens on a dandelion, and that will provide the middle point for that. At this point, I find the finest pen that I have. I think it's a 0.05, and I'm going to do these tiny flickings of these little petals, these little stamens that's on a dandelion. So starting from that center point, which is the little circle, and just flicking out as you go along. If you look at a normal dandelion, you'll see that there are so many of those little petals, and the aim of this is just to basically try and recreate that. You can add as many of these lines as you want. You can make them as thick as you want. Remember, this is all about finding your style and what you love, and just practicing as well. Remember, I'm not trying to do an exact dandelion, because if I was doing that, I would have done this completely differently than what I'm doing at the moment. But the dandelion is the inspiration. Keep on going until they're all done. At this point, I've looked at my progress and I'm not 100% happy. So what I'm going to do is take a darker pen and just go around just the little middle of those dots to make it a little bit darker in the center. And as I do the first one, I know that I'm happy with my choice. So I'm obviously going to continue to do that for the rest of the flowers. At this point, you can either leave the painting as is, or if you decide that you want a little bit extra on it, you can do what I'm going to do, which is put little dots around the edges of these flowers. I've chosen to add some white dots, but I'll also do a couple extra colors as well, not as prominent as the white, and I most probably would go and put a little bit more watercolor over the white just to make it so that it's not so pronounced. I want the edges to blend in with the flowers, and right now I just think that it's just a little bit too much. The white's standing out, so I'm just going to dull it just a little bit with other colors for other dots, maybe a couple little V's, and add some more light wash of watercolor on top of it. So this is the point where I use a different pen. I'm just going to do a couple little V's right at the end. I'm not going to do them on all of the flowers. I just want to do the sporadic, maybe 2 or 3, just to have something a little bit different on each one. And remember, you need to do what you love. So if you like the white, then do that. If you don't like the white, you do what you love, what makes your heart sing. This is the point where I put a very light wash of the watercolor paint over those edges, and all it does is make it a little bit more muted and a little bit cohesive with the entire flower, so those white bits aren't just, you know, popping out of the page and that's all you see. And that's that for this video, the 5th video in the series of finding your style. I hope you got some value out of this video and that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe and we'll see you in the next one.